Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Revitalize. This is day 3 of our campaign, and we are super excited. We've been working in the background with several of our ambassadors from across the globe to make this event possible. And we are excited to be hosting these daily conversations with our ambassadors, with our teachers. And today, I have a special guest with me in the studio, and this is none other than teacher. And I don't want to butcher her name, so I'm going to make sure that I pronounce this correctly. And this teacher is coming from Namibia. It is teacher Iyaloo Angolo. And she'll correct me when she comes on. So I believe I got it correct. But teacher, help me. Did I get your name correct? Let's start with that.
Correct.
Yes.
You're
Thank
correct
you
saying
so
by
much for
saying it,
helping
yeah.
me out with your name before we got started. And as we have been having several conversations with other persons who are joining this amazing experience that we're putting together, I would first like to, on behalf of everyone, all our team members, as well as myself, and of course, your national teachers, and as well as Miss Cecilia, who personally nominated you as well for this opportunity to congratulate you on your nomination. We know that any teacher that gets nominated is because you have been doing exceptional work in your community and in your country. So, first off, tell us about yourself and tell us how you felt when you first heard that you were nominated for this experience.
Thank you so much. Good evening, viewers. My name is Iyaloo Angolo. I'm a very committed and dedicated teacher by profession. I am currently teaching at Nango Primary School. I teach mathematics and science, grade 4 to 7. And on top of that, I'm also a head of department for math and science, the senior phase for grade 4 to 7. Um, and I have 10 teachers under my supervision. So that is who I am in short.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you so much. Mathematics, interesting enough, was my favorite subject coming up in school and even throughout high school. I love maths. I always see things in numbers. And what is interesting to me is the number of teachers that is coming out of Namibia. Once the news hit you guys, you were so collaborative and so responsive to this opportunity that we were flooded with teachers who were not only excited to receive the nomination, but also excited to share this experience with fellow colleagues. And this is how we got introduced to you as well. One of our other teachers that was nominated by Miss Joanne Cleot from Gen Namibia, when she was nominated, teacher Cecilia said, is it possible for us to recommend or nominate one of our colleagues? And I said to her, initially, we only had a few slots available. And what she said to us was, well, if I have to share my space or my room with someone, we just want to make sure that some of our other colleagues were able to receive this award. And I said to her, well, let's see how we can make this possible. And it really not only impressed me, but it also made me appreciate the culture in your community and the culture of the teachers and how you guys work together. Tell us a bit about your experience in general, teaching within your community, and just how you guys work as a community, how you're so tightly knit. At least that's the perspective that I've gotten so far. Tell us about just the culture of teaching in Namibia and some of your experience over the years.
Okay, thank you. So let me just thank very much. I'm very thankful for Cecilia for nominating me. And I feel like, oh, how? Why me? So it's like, um, I think the positive interpersonal relationship between the colleagues and the learners itself is the one that makes the necessary to nominate me. And back to the working environment, teachers are very important people in life, ne? You see? Then they are I can say teachers are the mothers of all professions, ne? So, and a teacher is everything. When we are working at a hard environment whereby a teacher can be like a combination of all professions, you know. We are working like police officers there. My sister, we are the judges, we are the counselors, we are the educators at the same time. So everything that happens at school is under our shoulders. So we
Mhm.
have to make sure that we educate the child, the Namibian child, and the just children in general to become better people in future, you know. So everything
Yeah.
without teachers, nothing will be possible. So for them to be better people in future, for them to have better life, better future, it's because of teachers. Then we have to make sure that we groom them for them to be responsible parents, you see. So
Yeah.
otherwise, there will be no future for them.
Absolutely.
Did I
And I
answer you?
think what you said is
All right.
exactly how I feel about teachers is that teachers don't just teach. They are police, they are counselors, they are, parents sometimes, they are the cook. They take on all the hats and they wear them so beautifully. And so in your heart, like in
Mm.
Namibia, tell us, because of course our audience here, we're global. Our company is based in the Caribbean, so I'm more familiar with the Caribbean culture. And we have teachers from the US and Europe and things like that that are also joining us. But tell us a bit about
Mhm.
your culture in general. Tell us about Namibia. Maybe give us a preview of maybe potentially what we will be able to see in Namibia and what you love about your country.
Wow. Our
Yeah.
country is so beautiful. So most of the people, we live in rural areas and some are living in town. We have national parks in Namibia whereby you can see different animals, different wild animals there. So we also have waterfall. We have Rakana waterfall. We have Pupa. We have some what I forgot the name, somewhere in Kavango region. So we have so many waterfalls. We have so many beautiful places that one can come visit. You see? Yeah, that is
Yes.
how Namibia is. We have different people who wear tradition clothes of different types. We have Vambos, we have Himbas, we have Helelos. So it's a uh, we have multilingual people also. That's why we have so many different people living in Namibia.
Magnificent.
I hope you will
Yeah.
meet them.
Yes,
Yes.
and what I really love about making this project global is also to
Mm.
have cross-border conversations. So us that come from the Caribbean region being able to exchange with persons from the African nation, and so that you can also experience the different cultures. So thinking about our Caribbean laid-back lifestyle in contrast to your culture. Where I'm from, unfortunately, in St. Martin, there aren't any waterfalls. Um, Neither are there in Curacao. So I was born in Curacao and living in St. Martin, but we don't have
Mm.
waterfalls. So every time I think of a destination that has a waterfall, I get really, really excited because I feel like
Come to
waterfalls are just
Namibia.
magical. Yes, I really believe waterfalls are magical. Um,
Oh.
but what is you're just thinking about the destination and where we're headed, what you know about the itinerary and everything else. What is exciting you the most about coming on this experience? Which part of it are you most excited to experience?
Oh, I just like everything. I just like to meet new people. I want to experience the world. I've never been
Yes,
out of Africa. Then it's like when you get out of the country, you are also like, you feel expected, you know? You feel expected. You know that you are also like, you are renewing your confidence in teaching. So in general,
Absolutely.
then that means that when somebody when somebody is leaving the country, you will be like, oh my goodness, I'm very much important. The way the person is being treated. I can't wait to see what is going to happen there, because I never know what is going to be happening there. But for sure, I know it will be a great trip.
Yes, absolutely. And that's some of what we want the teachers to experience. We want you to be excited. We want you to be, super excited about connecting with other teachers, but also just enjoying the beautiful destination. So Jamaica has so much to offer in terms of the beautiful waterfalls. So we'll be visiting like the Dance River Falls, the Bob Marley Museum, and some other attractions on the island that makes the island popular, and some other, rustic kind of experiences as well. So we're excited to make sure that teachers on a whole, whether you're from, the US, whether if you've been to Jamaica before, or whether this is your first time leaving your country, you get a sense of appreciation for your contribution. And so what I wanted to ask you, or just get some insight on for yourself, when you are, and I wouldn't say burnout, but when you are, overwhelmed, stressed as a teacher, culturally, how do you in your community or amongst your teachers, how do you all in general handle your, mental health and wellness on a whole? What is your way of taking care of your personal mental health and wellness?
Okay, thank you so much. As what we do, we just have to make sure that we take time also for ourselves. Ne? So we
Yeah.
organize trips that we can go visit some different places just within the area, or I
Yeah.
can say within the country. So because we don't have fun to travel abroad, so what we do is, so we just organize small trips for ourselves, and we also have to organize some parties just to freshen up at least from the stress that we are living in. When you are
Yeah.
working with learners, they are very much they have different manners. We are working with it's like I want to call them dangerous people. Yeah? Only that,
Yeah.
like at my phase where I'm teaching, so those learners, they are at the adolescent stage. So they
Hmm.
have different feelings, they have different ways of the way they are behaving.
Respond.
Sometimes they're also living
Yes.
in stress. But you have to
Yeah.
make sure that you have to teach them. You cannot
Yeah.
ignore them, whether they are the way they are behaving, or according to their behaviors, they are not so well, they are not positive about you. So have to make sure that your aim is to make sure you grow, so you groom those children, you educate them, you give them skills and knowledge that is needed, just like you. We are also
Yeah.
adolescents, so we have to make sure that we just take it as it is. So
Absolutely.
apart from that, yes.
Yeah. During this experience, I keep sharing that our focus is not to teach you guys as teachers how to teach, but really how to take some time to work on yourself, your mental health, and as well as your wellness and nutrition and everything else. Because we know that as teachers, you spend so much time in your classroom setting, you take time in your personal time to grade papers and do all these other things as teachers. But it is important for us to make sure that teachers have the capacity to journey through their careers well kept, well preserved, and appreciated for their hard work. So I love the idea that you guys take some time to do small trips within your region. And we're super excited to make this year possible that you can come on a journey with us. And so now, as we kind of touched on mental health and everything else, I would love to get some insight, or even to let our audience get some insight as to maybe have you seen an increase then in trauma or mental health issues post pandemic? So, how did the COVID pandemic increase or decrease your mental health cases or trauma cases, whether it's in the students or in the teachers? Was there a spike in that? And how did the teachers in your school kind of handle the pandemic, and how did it impact you? Mhm.
Thank you so much for the question. So the COVID-19 has a negative impact in our education here in Namibia. School have been closing here and there. So we, as teachers, we have competencies to make sure that we have completed them to prepare our learners for examination. But
Mhm.
closings and opening, today there is school, tomorrow there is no school. Next time there's also some cases coming up. Then we have to make sure that we close. But on top of that, we just made sure our learners got the knowledge that they're supposed to get. So we
Yeah.
made a rationalized syllabus that we have just to follow, and we increase the teaching load, the increasing of hours after school. We must make sure that we supplement what is lost. So we have to we have to compensate the missing lessons, the missing topics, and we have also to make sure that the assessment is done here and there. And sometimes, so dealing with learners who also lost their parents, we have to
Right.
do counseling. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes. So
Oh,
we
okay,
you just
okay.
touched
So,
on you just touched on learners who lost their parents, and that's such an interesting
oh
topic.
yes,
So tell us more about that. Yeah.
yeah. So, okay, we have learners who lost their parents due to COVID. So we have to make sure that we make them feel loved, though, for them not to think about their parents who are gone. So we have to accommodate them and feel that we are also their parents, you see. So
Yeah.
we just have to treat them special, not really special to be like their special kids, no,
Yeah.
but just to feel, make them feel that they have some people who are on their side also. Even though they don't have their parents, they can still, life can still continue without their parents. And as teachers, we behave as parents to them. We provide them with their needs where possible, only if it's possible. Depends on the affordability of what is happening. So I mean of their needs. But thank God we I think what we did is better for them. So they are progressing well. They are progressing well.
Absolutely.
Mm.
That's amazing. And I'm always smiling when I hear a teacher respond to a question in terms of the impact of any situation. They first talk about their kids. So you hold the
Mm.
kids very near and dear to your heart. But tell us a bit
Yeah.
about, your experience and how it impacted you personally as well.
Excuse me, the experience about,
So
did I
your
get you where?
experience pre or post the pandemic and COVID, how did you cope in that space, personally in not only taking care of their kids, but just in general, as a
In
person.
general.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, COVID-19. Oh, it brought fears into our mind. Like me, I was totally fear. Each and every time I have to make sure that I put the mask on. If you cough near me, I would say, oh, please make sure you distance yourself from other people. And I have to make sure that at school, our learners are fully, they have what? They have masks on, and we gave them a break. During break time, we have to tell them, okay, please go out of the classrooms, make sure you distance yourself from others. You know what? You don't need to take COVID from school to bring to your, or to take to your parents, and you also don't need to take COVID from home to bring it here.
Um,
So we were really
yeah.
educating them on how they should prevent COVID and how it can be okay, the way of spreading and the way of preventing it. So we have really educated them, and we just pass on it, we pass through. So we are fine,
Yes.
we are here, even though it's we have some cases here and then, but we are still fine.
Yes. And
But
how
we're
has
really
teaching
sorry.
changed? Were there any things that changed from pre this pandemic to now, things that got better first off, or any things
Mm.
that may have been lost in communication over the time, or things that you would like to see happen? So how has things changed now as we're getting back to normal almost?
Okay, so during COVID time, we what we did is like we were just using we make copies to give to our parents, I mean, to give to the learners. So they study from the copies that we are doing at schools. So, and again, the way we were teaching learners, so it's like they still have that fear. The fear is still in their mind, and it makes them to change also the way they were. It's not no more the same. So it's not more the same at all. So maybe I don't know whether it have a bad effect. I mean, it brought a bad effect in their minds, or what else we can say. But as long as we know that things are no more the same, there are so many things which are no more the same. The financial system, the food. So learners, they don't have food. Poverty is too much now. Their parents have lost their jobs. So we have to make sure that there is a provision of food at school. So our government is also assisting here and there to provide the soft porridge for the learners. So, and also those learners who were at private schools, they are no longer able to attend the private schools due to the financial,
Yeah.
things are just no more normal.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
what is some of your hopes then? What would you like to see change in Namibia or in your school for the future of education? What are some things that you believe are things that whether you can initiate or the community can do to support education and some hopes for the future of education?
Okay, thank you so much. So what I need, what I need, it's like I want, and I really want all the parents to understand the importance of education, so that they can work together with teachers. So they groom together their children. Those children, they need to be groomed up. Not only teachers, they have education. We know that education starts from home. So teachers should put their efforts. Parents should also put their effort. The government should also put effort. So because
Yeah.
the buildings that we are using, our schools, our school buildings are very much old. We don't have there are schools that don't have electricity, they don't have power. There are schools that don't have toilets. So computers, I'm telling you, even at our school, the IT teacher, he only used one laptop for 40 learners at a time. So how are we going to teach our learners about technologies? So it's very much discouraging sometimes. So only if our
Mhm.
government can also put effort and assist teachers to make education possible. So
Yeah.
otherwise, we are putting more effort on that, but we also need assistance from the government. We need teaching aids. We need to develop teaching aids. We also need our learners themselves to be uh, to familiarize themselves with different places. You see, so whether it's organizing of tours, or as long as the learners can also educate, or can also be educated outside the classes. So it's
Hmm.
only possible when there's fun even.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I believe that across the globe, several persons that we have talked to and discussed kind of the future of education and what their hopes are for the education systems in their different various countries. This is ringing, this is a consistent kind of comment and goal that most persons have, that our community, teachers, parents, education boards, education departments and governments and everyone in between rallies behind education. And it stems from what you said in the beginning. You said that teachers are the birthing place of every profession. So no one comes, into high diplomas or, achieving great success um, not starting with a teacher. So everyone comes from education. Everyone has achieved their success from some level of education. And this if this is the core of how we raise the next future leaders, the next future innovators, the next future, you know, millionaires and everything else, then we need to spend more time investing in the education system. And so we're hopeful that through our conversations about education, through our initiatives, that we can highlight teachers and put you all on the forefront of our campaigns, of our billboards, and everything else. And so that more community members can come out and say, well, yes, I would like to support this or this school or this initiative, or, you know, we want to contribute, as you said, resources. It's almost impossible for 40 kids to learn off of one computer, you know. And I know that teachers are making things possible out of the little that they have, but it's really great when community members can support the initiative. So we have ambassadors in every one of our countries, and we will be having conversations hopefully soon with your ambassador from Namibia. And we are definitely going to make an open call to the community to not only rally behind our initiative, but also to look into their education systems and their education departments to make education better for your teachers and as well as for the future of the country, all your young people and students. So I'm thanking you again for being here with us and having this conversation. And before you go, tell us, you know, one thing that you would like to say to motivate your own teachers. So as teachers, I know that, you know, you all contribute so much of your life work and everything to education. What motivation would you like to share with your fellow colleagues, whether in Namibia or across the globe? What is your one message for teachers in general?
Okay. So my message to teachers is, so I want them to work so hard. They should work hard and put more effort. And I want all the schools also to organize, like, to award their teachers. So no awarding teachers or make them or take them to retreats like these ones. So they make
Yeah.
them to feel respected. They also make them to be to. It also give positively who they are. It also make them to be like they to feel like they are well recognized in their environments and also in the in Namibia at large. They also need to know that they are. So it's like when teachers are treated so well, it also making them to it also make them to feel that they are very much important in the environment. You see,
Yeah.
and in the other way, it also boosts their self-esteem and feel good about themselves. Mm.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
mm,
Yes, and thank you so much for that. I strongly believe that teachers around the world are the hardest workers. I've said it several times on this show that I can't do what you do. So I commend you for your hard work and your dedication to your school. We are very much looking forward to having you join us in July. So we're inviting the community that is watching the replay of this talk show to come out, show up, and go to our website. So I'm dropping the website link below here in the chat. I will also put it in the description of the show. So if you would love to learn more about this initiative, it's called Revitalized, and it is a community funded travel incentive program for teachers like our teacher today. She is one of the nominated teachers who will be joining us in July from the 15th to the 20th of July 2023 in Jamaica. And so thank you so much for all your hard work. And I know that we will hear more from you in the coming months. The campaign is running until the end of June. So I'm sure we will have you back in another conversation. We may do like a Namibia Teachers Edition and bring all the Namibia teachers together so that we can have a large conversation with everybody. But I'll keep in touch with you. Thank you so much for being here with us and for sharing your
You're welcome.
story. Any final words before we go that you'd like to leave with the general audience? Anything?
Okay. I'm just happy. I just feel honored to be part of the team that is going for Jamaica. I never knew that I'll be one. Yes. I'm too much
Yes.
excited.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you, Teacher Angelo. And we are just as excited as you are. So head over to revitalizestar.com and you will be able to see what this program is all about. And we will be having more conversations every single day until the end of June. So you'll get to meet each and every one of our teachers that were nominated, as well as the team working behind the scenes to make this event possible. I'm your host, Crystal Legrand, and we will be back again tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central European Time and as well as 1 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time on the West. So tune in and stay tuned to all our channels. Follow us at Revitalized Star on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn, and stay up to date as to what will be happening with our teachers. We have so many special announcements throughout the next couple weeks. So have a good evening, everyone. Good night.
Okay. Right.
Bye.